What do you like best on the show today, Bomani?
I like the fact that I didn't actually pick Clemson to win that game.
Vamos, Papi.
What was your favorite part of last night's game?
Hey, we got a good game last night. We got 45-40, Alabama over Clemson, high scoring, and Nick Saban in the same place. I bet you didn't think that was coming. But the best part of the game for me was it's coming down to the end. It's a big third down. Alabama needs to run the clock, and you know Lane Kiffin just wants to run the bootleg. You know he wants to run the bootleg. Imagine how much he begged Nick Saban to run the bootleg, and then they ran it, and it actually worked without Jacob Coker throwing the national championship away. That was a fun game.
Really? That was your favorite part of the game? We saw a lot of bad football this weekend that was sort of masked by the great 2 minutes at the end of Bengals-Steelers. But that game last night, the idea that Alabama would have allowed 11 touchdowns in its last 11 games and Clemson would do that to them and they would keep pace with them with stakes that you would have fun going back and forth, that a kickoff return for a touchdown might not win it, that a gambling onside kick might not win it. The whole thing was up in the air throughout, and that was great fun, all of it. Papi, you're wearing crimson colors. Did you do that on purpose? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I didn't know that was their color. I'm changing guayaberas right now. Time out, time out.
All right.
That's it, time out. The deal is off.
Okay.
I was afraid he was just going to take it off right here. Yeah, you can go change.
I can do that too.
No, thank you. Do you have another one?
Yeah, I got a few of them. You, Nick. Say it. I'm not wearing these. How about this? You like this one? You know, I'm wearing black. You know, I'm in mourning now.
Okay, yes. You don't like Tricky Nicky very much.
No, I don't like Tricky Nick at all. Are you going to try to make me admit that Tricky Nick is the greatest coach of all times? Because if you are, you can go yourself.
Okay. I mean, he's really good. He's a really good coach, and we know he's a really good coach. And all over ESPN, people are asking, is he better than Bear Bryant? Here's the most impressive part to me. It's not that he's won 4 in 7 years or in his last 9 years in college that he's won 5. This is basically where we are with this. He's 5-0 when he plays in these games. Anytime he gets there, he wins when he gets there. That's Michael Jordan territory. Generally, when you're someone who never loses upon arrival, you're someone we will anoint as best ever.
Now, look, it's hard to make any comparison about what goes on now in college football to what went on in those days. The Alabama job means something different in 2015 than it did in 1965. It meant something different in 1980 than it did in 1965. But Nick Saban just won a national championship with Jacob Coker at quarterback. How many people can say that they could pull off that magic trick? Because that just happened in real life.
But, Bomani, who was his LSU quarterback? Here's the thing that he's got going. The talent that he can get to go there, that comes to him because it wants to get to the money, it wants to get to the NFL, is so strong that he can win championships, plural, without his quarterback really mattering.
Can I remind people that he's with the Dolphins, you know, he ran out of town like a rabbit and went to Alabama after a press conference saying, I'm not interested in that job. And then right there he went into a plane and within 2 hours he was talking to the Alabama people. Yeah?
Yes, you can remind them of that.
And they lost to Louisiana Monroe in 07. Like, we just want to throw everything else because not much bad has happened since that date.
Who will leave you more convinced will still be praising their names in 5 years? Derrick Henry or Deshaun Watson?
All right, people overreacted a bit in the course of the game about Deshaun Watson. It wasn't Michael Vick in the Sugar Bowl in January 2000. It wasn't Vince Young in January 06 against USC. But it was really, really impressive. I mean, that was 400 yards passing and all that running against that vaunted defense that Dan said had given up 11 touchdowns in their last 11 games. Derrick Henry, I think what you saw there was what we've seen from him pretty much. A good player who had a great season and another 36 carries. Why might we not be talking about Derrick Henry down the line? Because I don't know how much he's going to have left after this year.
He carried almost 400 times this season. Usually Alabama does it between two backs. They gave him all the carries. Put up that photo of this guy next to Mark Ingram. Look at this photo, how much larger he is, bigger he is than Mark Ingram, who's an NFL back. But the lasting images of this game for me will be the loser. Deshaun Watson was the best athlete on the field when everyone's talking about that Alabama front seven being all draftable.
You know, Deshaun Watson reminded me of Rocky. You know, I mean, the tougher he got, he took one punch after the other, and he kept fighting until the end. You got to love a guy like that. The other guy, he got a big line in front of him. You know, for him was sissy. You know, I mean, he got these big guys in front of him, but Deshaun was pretty much by himself most of the time. I love him.
And just like Rocky, he lost.
Yeah, at the end, he loses.
Does the NFL suspending Von perfect 3 games next season seem fair?
If safety is your priority, and they keep saying it is, then this seems fair. It's also unprecedented, though. They've just named Burfict a human safety hazard. They've given him a Lifetime Achievement Award for hurting people. He led the league this year in personal foul penalties. He just took out Antonio Brown in a game where everyone knows he was dirty and everyone knows he is dirty, and now they've just established the line higher than they ever have. For on-field conduct, physicality, this guy just got 3 games. That never happened.
Yeah, but how do you have that long line of fines for him and then you magically jump to a 3-game suspension? Like, this is incredibly reactionary. This is about when it happened, and I think it had a lot to do with the tone of the discussion around it on the broadcast and in the press that came after it. I totally understand suspending Burfict. He is absolutely a dirty player. But going from where they did to 3 games, something doesn't smell right.
Do you think that Fidel Godel would have suspended him if the Bengals had won?
That's a good question, Bomani. Do you think he would have done that? Yes, for 3 games next year, not for this year.
No. This year. They've been trying to get the Bengals up out of here. The last thing they need is Vontaze Burfict and Pac-Man Jones hugging Lombardi.
Does Antonio Brown, not looking good to play, convince you Pac-Man Jones was wrong and Brown wasn't faking it?
All right, Pac-Man Jones is insisting to anyone who will listen that he believes that Antonio Brown flopped, that he faked the head injury that wound up starting everything in Saturday night's game. In fact, he goes so far as to say that Antonio Brown was on the ground and winked at him. But, I mean, I don't know if he was doing that on purpose, but that's what he thinks. He thinks it was winking. Here's the play. I don't think that looks like a flop.
It doesn't look.
I will say, there was one angle I saw at first where I didn't see that.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's...
Martavis Bryant also told us today on the radio that he is in the concussion protocol. I mean, there's nothing about that looks fake. It's a strange lie to ride with, isn't it? That Pac-Man Jones is taking this out. He will not let go of this bone no matter how much evidence there is to the contrary.
I don't think it's a lie to him. It's not like he's the one that delivered the hit. He has just decided that dude was winking at me, when in reality, that dude needed medical assistance.
Right. That was his eyes rolling into the back of his head.
Well, that's not big news. Did you hear that Big Ben had one of his arm amputated and he's planning on playing on Sunday?
He did win the game. You realize that got lost and buried? The fact that he won with a nub at the end against the Bengals, telling his guys in the huddle, I can only throw the ball 3 yards with my arm in a sling.
That's what happens when you get 2 personal fouls at the end to get him into field goal range.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
Oh, yeah, she's good at this.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's the best ever. She's
Whoa.
She should be cocky because look at this. Bang. Bang. Yes.
Wow.
Swag. Yeah.
Wow.
Time to play the game that is greased up and ready to go. Do you question?
You give us topics and events, and we question them. Go where?
Any place. Do you question the toughness of this Alabama fan?
All right, this is a 2-point conversion in the 4th quarter. You'll see Deshaun Watson has the ball. I generally don't question the toughness of Alabama fans because crazy. Right there.
The bald guy? The
Yes.
flexing
The
bald
flexing
guy?
in Deshaun Watson's face.
Yeah! I had nothing to do with that play. Get up! I am now going to go straight bodybuilder pose. Woo!
So if he had gotten a little bit closer and done that again and Deshaun Watson catches him right there by the throat, who's actually mad? Like, who really has a problem with it? Because I think it would be fully warranted.
I mean, let's look at that guy again. I want to just look. Does his bald head turn a shade of red with his fury and rage and enthusiasm? It does. Look at the blood rush right here to the top, to the very top of his shiny dome.
Well, I also enjoy the whole thing of I'm going to flex my chest muscles at you minus the, chest muscles.
Do you question if leaving Lane Kiffin behind was an accident?
Come on, they're champions. He helped them. They outscored a team that scored 40 points. But the buses did leave him behind. Look at this video.
I mean, all three phases of the Crimson Tide team contributed. I'm kind of new school.
Okay. In this era, it is pretty remarkable. Reese Davis said this is the best era of Alabama football. That would have been a time that was sacrilegious, but not anymore.
No, the last bus is gone, Lane. And if you think they didn't do that on purpose, you're crazy. You're telling me nobody noticed that Lane Kiffin wasn't there. Nobody, none of the coaches noticed that the offensive coordinator hadn't got on the bus. They were tired of waiting on Lane because you'll notice he's walking through that tunnel. Nobody else is trying to get on the bus. They've been there waiting for Lane, and they had had enough.
He sent out on Twitter a picture of him arriving at the team plane with Made It. But that is the last time, Alabama, that you're going to be able to leave Lane Kiffin behind. The next move, he's going to leave you behind.
Let's not forget the whole reason we're talking about this is that one time that Lane Kiffin got home from a game and they told him to stay at the airport and the buses left and they fired him, and none of us know how he got home.
Yeah.
So he got all the big jobs when he didn't deserve them. Now that he deserved them, is he going to get one?
He did.
He's going to be left behind.
I mean, that's a good point by my father. Before, he hadn't done very much to get those jobs. Now he kind of did something.
And he did enough when he wasn't supposed to have those jobs to make it hard to get one. By the way, Lane Kiffin, only 40 years old.
Do you question why this fellow posted this video?
That should be YouTube's motto, by the way. Do you question why this fella posted this video? We don't know what this video is, by the way. What do we have?
Oh, no. That went better than I thought it was going to go. Better. I thought that he was going to hit his face on that.
My questions start before the decision to post the video. That last part's pretty funny.
Oh,
My questions start right before he, like, not even when he jumps, when he stands on these parallel bars. What were you ultimately trying to do? Were you trying to land on the bar? Were you trying to land off the bar? And do you realize that actually could have been way worse?
Can we see that whole thing again? Because I want to see just how impotent, that might not be the verb I want there, just how weak this ending was. The very end of it, where he sort of
Whoosh!
Look, the last little bit here. Oh.
There's nothing left. Oh, man.
You know, that was bad, but I have seen worse.
Oh, are we going to get a montage of what?
Oh, this,
Yes.
you remember?
Yes.
Bow! That should have left the
Ah.
part in where he was dancing for. That makes that even funny. Oh!
Oh my God.
Yeah.
At least they had that plastic on top.
Oh!
Yeah. Wow. It went
Yep.
boom.
Yep.
His
Yeah.
head slammed down like a domino. Play that last one more time.
Yeah, my dad was not lying. He's seen worse.
Do you question if this is the future of ride sharing?
Oh, usually when we go to these videos, it's like a moped and 7 people and a giraffe and a donkey. What do we got here? Yeah, there it is.
Wait a minute. Is that 2 feet on one pedal on
Yes.
either side?
Yes, that is teamwork there. I mean,
Well, y'all too cool to sit on the same bicycle seat or
I
something?
guess so. Or they're just sharing the workload equally.
I feel like this isn't going to end well. Like, this requires a lot of, like, communication and teamwork.
Yeah, they are. That is really good. That they have. Those are veterans at that.
That sounds like mom bought the kids one bike and they refused to let one go out without the other.
I'm my bike too. I'm gonna ride the bike. I'm gonna ride the bike. We both gonna ride the bike.
Do you question whether this woman deserves to be cocky?
Parts unknown. We're going out to a woman in parts unknown.
Cocky woman. Oh yeah, she's good at this.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's the best ever. She's
Whoa.
Yeah, she should be cocky because look at this. Bang. Bang. Yes.
Wow.
Swag. Yeah.
Wow.
Who do you think calls the shot at her house? You have any idea? I have no idea.
Well, I mean, the fact that she could kidnap you and tie you up
Right.
faster than anybody in the history of mankind says she's in charge.
Yep.
Questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time for another one of my seductive interview medleys.
They're not terribly seductive, but they're just some interviews that we've done over the weeks and months. Here are some of the best bits from those interviews.
Hey, how are you, French?
What's going on?
Nice
I like
talking
that
to
shirt.
you. Yeah, you like this shirt? Thank you
Yeah,
very
I love
much.
that shirt.
We gotta hang out when you're back here in Miami, French.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Go come home with some
Buy a
Tiger
couple of
Cubs.
tigers. Buy a couple of tigers. Go ahead, Papi. What do you got for French?
French, I heard that you're a very good friend with John Wall. Can you tell me John Wall? You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's one of my
basketball-
best friends.
The best friend. Can you tell me the most fun night that the two of you had together?
The most fun night, I think it was in the strip club on the off season.
Yeah.
It was a summertime strip club in D.C. Yeah, you know he got that big check, so I was trying to grab some of his money to throw it.
He spent more than you, right? He was
Yeah,
able
yeah,
to,
he definitely did. I ain't trying to compete with him.
Okay, that was very strange, this connection that you and my father formed with strip clubs and going out. Thank you, French. We appreciate it.
Gracias,
Now, I love
French.
your pops,
Gracias.
man. All right.
What did you miss? What's the one that you missed that you're like, ooh, that was a bad one to miss?
Well, I've almost missed Christmas. That was probably
Really?
the biggest one. Luckily, the vice president of communications there with the Falcons and he knew a place that was open on Christmas Eve where I could go get I could go get something done, and I needed to get it done, and he was a big help that day. I didn't realize Christmas Day
Came
was
all the way to
here.
Christmas Eve. You got all the way
Yes.
to Christmas Eve. Like, what time on Christmas Eve? Was it when everybody left the office early?
What happened?
It was actually, we talked about it at lunch, and I said, well, what time does this place close? And he said, 5 o'clock. I said, well, come get me about 4:30 and we'll go take care of it. And luckily it was just right down the street. And absolutely, it was one of the best gifts I ever bought.
Let's go. What happened? You went there thoughtlessly, oblivious,
hey.
and what'd you get?
Oh, you don't. It wasn't jewelry. It was at a Home Depot, so that was the thing that was open.
Wait a minute. You damn near forgot about Christmas and you tried to save the day at the Home Depot?
That's terrible.
That's not terrible. It worked. It was okay.
But you won't tell us what it is.
You went before 5 o'clock. You didn't tell us the place that was open. We really cracked open your soul here. You went shopping on Christmas Eve at Home Depot at 5 o'clock.
That's the God's honest truth.
And you won't tell us what it is, though.
Merry Christmas. It's a big old bag of mulch.
Here's some bolts. Here's some bolts, honey. And some paint.
Time to play the game that is so happy that Rupert has at last found love. See? Or no?
You tell us what to watch on television tonight, on Fox maybe. We tell you if we're intrigued or not.
On NBA TV, Pelicans and Lakers.
No. Why would you be interested in this? No, I mean, you wouldn't be interested in this anyway, but no Anthony Davis, no Kobe Bryant. But this does allow us to make fun of the Lakers. Let's put together a montage of the Lakers. Fast break, Bomani.
Ooh.
They put together
Explain that one to your friends, buddy.
They put this together themselves. Lou Williams feeling it. No, not so much.
Oh.
Yes, keep stealing the ball. And yes. Yes, steal it again. Lou Williams again feeling it.
Wow, Jeff Withey's in the league.
That was amazing. Bomani, are you intrigued?
By the way, I think those are the two best players the Lakers have that were putting on that exhibition that you had right there. Clarkson and Lou Williams, like that's you guys now.
Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued because I'm going to be watching Alvin Gentry. You know, he's the head coach of the Pelicans. You know, he could have been today, coaching the Golden State, but instead he went to the Pelicans. What a move he made!
He went to Coach Anthony Davis, who stays getting hurt.
Tomorrow morning in China, the Dongguan New Century Leopard and the Tianjin Ronggang Golden Lions.
No, but we get to check in here with Jordan Crawford. Last time he was on the show with us, and he told us that Kobe Bryant hisses like a snake when he wants the ball, that he sounds like an actual Mamba, makes that sound. Here's Jordan Crawford in China scoring 72 points in a game. Long-range shots, not guarded. And he's down here. This is down at the end of the game, but he's still going. He's down. Scored 72 of his team's 102 and then put up a little extra bonus. A kiss at the end. Bomani, are you intrigued?
How salty are you if you're on the team with him and he puts up 72 and you still lose by double digits?
Yeah.
Like, how salty do you have to be?
Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued because I'm telling you something. I have never seen anyone scoring 72 points in a basketball game. So I gotta watch that because I got a funny feeling that next game around he's going to go for 100. 100. 100.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Papi has spoken.
Why do you keep doing that?
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Back tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
Can I use that?
Can you use that? No, I don't want to know.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
No, well, that I gathered as much.
That isn't helping me.